From 2010 to 2020, Boise gained more people than San Francisco, percentage-wise. In fact, it became one of the fastest-growing cities in the entire United States. And in 2023, the Boise metro area ranked number 7 for fastest growth nationwide. But here's the strange part. Boise isn't a big city. It doesn't have a beach. It's not a tech capital. So why are so many people packing up and moving to this part of Idaho? Let's slow down and take a closer look at Boise, the little city that's making a big impression. Small city benefits? One reason people are moving to Boise is because it's a small city, and that's a real advantage. The entire Boise area, including nearby places like Meridian, Nampa, and Caldwell, adds up to around 800,000 people. That's not just the city itself, but the whole region called the Treasure Valley. To put that in perspective, Los Angeles has nearly 4 million people. Phoenix has 1.6 million. Boise and its suburbs combined still aren't as big as most of those single cities. And that smaller size makes daily life easier. For example, if you want to drive from the far west side, a town like Caldwell, to the far east side of Boise, it takes about 35 to 40 minutes on Interstate 84. That's crossing the whole region. In bigger cities, you can spend that same amount of time just sitting in traffic, trying to move a few miles. Because Boise is smaller, getting around is faster and less stressful. You can usually take surface streets, not just the freeway. Whether you're going to the grocery store, dropping off kids at school, or heading to a movie, most things are close by, and traffic isn't overwhelming. But what you get in return is a more relaxed environment. 4 seasons. Boise offers all 4 seasons, and that's a key reason many choose to move there. Unlike many parts of the US with year-round heat or cold, Boise brings variety. Winters stand out. Snow does fall, but not in heavy lingering piles. A typical snowfall brings 3 to 4 inches, and most of it melts within days, thanks to Boise's high desert climate and frequent sunshine. This climate is unique compared to other Idaho cities. In places like Idaho Falls or Pocatello, snow stays longer, and wind is a regular problem. Boise, by contrast, stays relatively calm, less wind, more sun. Boise's 4 seasons are balanced, and that balance draws in people looking for seasonal change without seasonal hardship. Time zone. Boise sits in the Mountain Time Zone, while northern Idaho, including cities like Coeur d'Alene and Moscow, follows Pacific Time. This creates a clear difference in daylight, especially in winter. In Boise, sunsets happen about an hour later than in northern Idaho. If it gets dark at 4:30 p.m. up north, it's closer to 5:30-inch Boise. That extra hour of light in the late afternoon makes a noticeable difference during the darker months. In summer, Boise also benefits from later sunsets. While other places may go dark around 9 p.m., Boise often stays light until 10 o'clock. That means more time for evening walks, outdoor activities, and natural light late into the day. Sunrise comes later too, but for many, the longer daylight in the evening is the more valuable part. Economic opportunities and a dynamic job market. Another reason people are moving to Boise is because the job market is strong and growing fast. Since early 2020, job postings in Boise have increased by nearly 95%. That means there are more job openings now than ever before, across many different industries. The city has seen major growth in software, IT, and computer-related jobs. But it's not just tech. There's also high demand in trades, transportation, and utility work. That's partly because a lot of the workforce is aging, and new infrastructure is being built. As of May 2024, the largest groups of workers in Boise are in office support, transportation, and food service. Together, they make up more than 30% of the city's workforce. The city's projected job growth is over 50%, much higher than the national average of about 33%. Wages in Boise are a mix. On average, workers earn about $29.65 an hour, and lower than the U.S. average of $32.66. But some industries pay much higher. For example, software developers earn about $151,000 a year. Computer network architects make around $150,000. Financial managers earn about $131,000. Registered nurses bring in around $87,000. Jobs in healthcare, tech, and management pay especially well, even if the overall average is lower. Boise may not offer the highest wages in every field, but it offers room to grow. For many people, that means a better chance to get started, move up, and build a long-term career. Cost of living and affordability. Boise isn't the cheapest city in America, but compared to where most people are moving from, It's a financial relief. Let's break it down. Living in Boise costs about 2% more than the national average, but it's still 8% lower than the rest of Idaho, and much cheaper than places like Portland or Seattle. Compared to Portland, Boise is 11% less expensive. And when you look at Seattle, Boise is nearly 25% cheaper overall. Housing is the big one. In Boise, the average rent is around $1,678, and the average home price is about $514,000. That's over $160,000 less than Portland, and hundreds of thousands less than Seattle. Utilities are a win too, about 22% lower than the national average. Healthcare is actually 2% cheaper. So what does all this mean? If you're moving from somewhere like Seattle, you'd only need to earn about $45,000 a year in Boise to keep the same lifestyle. Yes, wages here are often a little lower, but you spend less, especially on housing. Quality of life and outdoor recreation. Boise offers a high quality of life, and one of the biggest reasons is direct access to nature. The Boise River runs straight through the city and the entire Treasure Valley. Locals use it for fishing, kayaking, swimming, and even surfing in the warmer months. In total, the city has over 100 developed parks and about 5,000 acres of open space. This setup makes it easy for residents to enjoy nature every day. Winter sports are also accessible. But Boise isn't just about nature. The city's got heart: museums, live music, murals, festivals, even a giant street art alley. Boise's restaurant and brewery scene is growing too. The city also runs affordable classes and camps, including programs for kids, adults, and people with disabilities. In short, Boise's mix of accessible outdoor recreation, year-round natural beauty, local culture, and livable climate gives people more than just a place to live. It offers a daily lifestyle that's hard to match in larger, more crowded cities. Supportive urban planning. This city isn't growing by accident. It's growing on purpose and with a plan. The city has a full department focused on this: Planning and Development Services, or PDS. Their goal is simple: to keep Boise safe, livable, and economically strong. One of the biggest tools they use is a new zoning code, which is already in effect. This code sets the rules for how the city expands, where buildings go, and how new neighborhoods are shaped. It's designed to help Boise grow smart, not just fast. To make the process more open, the city also launched an online development tracker. It gives weekly updates on new projects, so residents can see what's being built, where it's happening, and how to get involved. The Boise Pathways Plan, part of the City for Everyone effort, invests in trails, bike routes, and safer streets for walking. Projects like improving the Boise River Greenbelt and updating 8th Street mobility make it easier for people to get around without a car. All of this, zoning codes, housing support, better transportation, that works together. It helps the city control traffic, keep housing costs in check, and avoid the problems that usually come with fast growth. Every year, thousands of people, mostly from places like California, Oregon, Utah, and Washington, choose Boise for its balance. More space, lower costs, and a real sense of community. Most of them are working-age adults and families, moving not just for work but for what Boise offers outside the office. They're trading big city stress for a place that feels more livable, more grounded, and more like home. Thanks for watching. If you're one of those people thinking about Boise, you already made the move, drop a comment below and let us know why Boise works for you. See you in the next one.